Hello everyone, welcome you into this live session in the very special session on the Posh Guide webinar. So let's start in this program. So this is specifically the Posh guidance or the guiding webinar where I am here guiding you what are the Posh, what is the Posh is, what are the criticality, how you have to be compliant for those regulations under the Posh Act 2030. Then furthermore, it is not just the part of compliance, then it is furthermore two big thing. So all those things we are covering here and I'm guiding you on that what is exactly this law is saying, what you have to do, and then what is the scope when you know about the Posh is what. So that we are going to be addressed. As you can see here, I have been mentioned it is about the Posh compliance, the one part which we all know. And then there are the furthermore the level one, level two, there is the carrier scope too. What this carrier scope is that we are going to be addressed furthermore. It is for if you are, I expect that everyone is the working professional into the domain of HR or either into the similar domain who are into helping the people and related to the people relation into the organization. And the second one, it is about also the service provider who are into the role of service provider for the organization, similarly addressing or helping the organization to address their compliance or related issue. So I have been personally welcome you here into this live session. Then the coverage, what we are covering into this program, that is about the two things which I have been mentioned. One is the part of the compliances as under prescribed regulation of the Post Act 2013, and second one, it is about further the opportunities you inside your organization and beyond your organization, what types of the opportunity this Posh law is leveraging to you, what are its regulation, then compliance with the implications that are really the difficulty for the organization as well as the criticality. Why, even though the big number of the organization who are fully compliant, who has been appointed, the many who are advisor for the Posh, but still they have some issues or they are not fully compliant. It means the regulation as the documentary is compliant, but at the ground there are something missing. So what is that missing? I'm addressing that here to you. Maybe many of you also know about what is Posh law, what is its regulation, how it has been come into the existence as a law, and why it is necessary for every organization in every workplace. It is, I am aware about that, you are well aware all things, but when it comes to the regulation you have to comply, and then it should be reflect at the ground place at your workplace really. So that is the gap. So how we are going further to proceeding and giving you most of the learning from this guiding program on the Posh provision regulation, its compliance, and furthermore enhancing of your career as an Posh leader or for a new organization, or if you are as a service provider, so how you can leverage it also too. So when we talk about the Posh compliance and the career, so it is about the regulation and its provision, and then the opportunities with those provisions which expanded when this law is applicable for every organization. However, like the other law, this Posh Act 2013 is regulated by the Ministry of Child and Women Development. Here, number one, the objective of this program or this live webinar, then the objective of the law. When we talk about the objective of the program, so it is lies with the objective of the law because we are talking about the Posh Act 2030. Then next, it is about the criticality, what the organization are facing to comply with the Posh regulations. Then there are some key parts in the law which is required to be comply into the different level and its applicability for the organization. And furthermore, different types of the regulation which comply at the different level, which I mentioned into the key part, then into the different situations, because there may be the different situation into the organization. For example, one where the law is applicable. Second one, here it is providing some like the preventing the such issues into the organization, that is the different situations. Then after, it is about if any case happen, there it is the different situation. In those different situations, how you have to deal with that, I am also sharing with you here. It's a regulation, it is defining, or it is defining and prescribe that the organization where it is applicable, that you need to be ensure the safe workplace. for everyone. Second one, it is you have to be safeguard the dignity of women, because when it was initiated, or when it was constituted into the 2013, so in that it was specifically to safeguarding the dignity of a woman into the organization. But furthermore, there are the many further, it is not amendments, there are the different regulation under the different law and provision, then it has been provided to where you have to be safeguard the dignity of the woman, first one, and secondly, the everyone should have ensure the safe workplace. So it is coming out that what types of the safeguarding into that, it is about some physical safety, it is about some behavior perspective or the approaches to work about, it is about the dignity when one should feel respective in respect of their perception, what they or what is the conduct of the other one into the case of the perceiving through any the discussion, talk, whatever is there, that is the defining the safeguarding the dignity for women. When we talk about the Posh, how to define it in harassment finally. So there are the different perspective, but furthermore, you, if you are an Posh practitioner or you are an Posh specialist or complying the Posh, compliance means it is a part of not just the documentation which consider or which is real the compliance, but it is beyond that, then you should have two things, how to determine, or number one, how to understand that really the case is happening, it is the harassment or not, or it is about the when you have to determine it is really the case of harassment. So there may be some questions also either into the recently in this year only the court has been given some judgments in this case when there any male is shouting on the female employee due to the work related, is that the case of harassment. When you are going to the everyone to creating the awareness, however into the organization, they just when talking about the compliance part, they what they do, they just formulate all the documents form as well as creating a policy and then keeping them into a one document and file, circulate it one time through email where no one know. When it comes to the next level, if you are going to be a systematic way to comply, so you need to be create a sensitization and the clear awareness about their, people will ask you many questions, how to address those questions, that is the very missing and difficult part for the organization. So that same types of the right as in a civil court or in a judicial magistrate. So that's why how the court proceed their hearing in the case of if any complaint or case filed into the court, similarly the committee will have the right and provision and the proceeding similarly into the same way, so they the justice or the natural justice they can assure for everyone if any one is victim of the harassment case into the organization as per the or under the regulation of the Posh Act 2013, which was that as the first initiative. When you have the preventive measures already available, but there are also the scope of it may be happen. So there are the prohibitive. You are putting into your guidelines that this behavior, because the Posh cases is considered as a misconduct, and accordingly the punishment will be based on your the misconduct or the code of conduct or the disciplinary regulation, whatever you has, it will be according to that. And when this policy is there, then you required that need to be implemented into organize what the people do or the organization they do into implementation. Just drafted one policy, even though it is copy pasted, or either it is you are that having on platform some advisor who are the senior people or who are the law fraternity, so you are engaging to them. The policy has been initiated, everything has been drafted, but furthermore just next step is to implement it, the key functions as well as its applicability. Then third one, it is as I mentioned the redressal mechanism. So there are the two types of the mechanism provided, one is the formal and second one is the informal. So then it comes to the like the applicability, how and where it is applicable. So it is applicable at the workplace. So in the law it has been defined for the every workplace. So how to define that designated workplace where it is as per the law now, then when after it has been added by the different laws and regulations. So then it come to the next one, where the organization it is required to be comply the regulation of the Posh. So there it is number one, coming to the compliance, you require to comply for the Posh policy. So Posh policy is applicable for every workplace. Instead, furthermore, how you have to identify those people, how you have to be select those people for your committee, that is the very specific process you require to be learned, that is about your upskilling your skill. Then third one, the redressal. It is, as I mentioned, so they are required into the, if any complaint or any case happen, then the complaint need to be filed, because you have been mentioned it into, it is required by the law into your Posh policy, or the principle or the guiding principle related to your Posh. So then you, how you will be proceed that application according to the required provision or defined into the Posh law. So there it has been defined. If any complaint is there, so you need to be provide the conclusion within 90 days, and next 10 days, there you need to be submit the report. So, and there, if any complaint happens, so there minimum 3 members should be applicable or available during the time of the hearing of an committee. So in the formal provision, you need to be conclude. However, if the female, she is not, or any person who not that satisfied with the provision which has been done or conclusion provided in consolation, then after there should be proceed with the formal provision. So that is the, so then after it come to the, if the Posh provision you are not complying, so what type of the consequences you have into your organization? So there are the many types of the consequences. Number one, it is about the your brand value that will be impacted, or the negative publicity if any case happen. Second one, it will be decrease the morale of the organ. However, there are the many surveys also, even though there the 80% of women they feel, or who is the victim, they feel that there will be nothing, because the organization are not into intentionally to comply the provisions safeguarding them from this type of the issues. Even though the survey has been said that there are around 50% who has been, more than 80% who has been filed the complaint, so their situation become worse. They has been threatened by their, who has been the offender into that case, related to their jobs, or even though the beyond their jobs also in your domain. It come about the where we are providing the different type of solution. However, at the social university free of the course, as well as then the freelancing, where we are providing some of the content writing, as well as the website designing, advanced excel. So these types of the where people can utilize their skill as the freelancer. Then furthermore, specifically developing of the people, this is the most focused area of ours. It is about the developing the HR professional or the compliance section who will be comply the regulation of organization, as well as developing the organizations workforce according to the future need for the organization as the dynamic changes happening into the organization. So aside as of now, so this is you how this Posh knowledge can scale your career, and within this knowledge how you can scale your career furthermore if you have the deep knowledge and understanding about the Posh. So here there are the 3 types of the opportunity you have. One, you can encash your Posh knowledge in your organization existing. Then there are the further the new opportunity beyond your working, then the open market. And third one, there is the, if you are getting the specialization career, it is giving you the different types of the higher scale of earning and learning outside agency for compliance under the Posh law. So they required, they will charge you at least 5 lakh rupees. So what are their role into the organization? It's come to the next one, as I mentioned. So this Posh deep understanding and learning and the skill give you the vital opportunity and scope of the career. So here is, I have listed 6 or 7 number. So if you have the deep knowledge about the Posh regulation compliance, then it is giving you different types of the opportunity into your organization, as well as the externally also. When it is an organization, you can scale and cash your skill into the career. It will give you the career growth opportunities, because you are saving your money. In the first sentence, it required minimum 2.5 lakh to 5 lakh, 2.5 lakh to 5 lakh rupees any agencies are charging now. So you can safeguard your organization and such money. And second one is about the career scope beyond your job. So it is into a process of designing an advanced level certification program with one of the agency from Delhi. So that is, one is the Posh practitioner, second one is the Posh trainer, where that is addressing all your 7 opportunities which you can scale or which you can encash beyond your regular jobs, either into your organization, also beyond to that into the public also. we are designing the new program, maybe from next week we are launching that. So there we are covering the two perspective, where the Posh practitioner, where we will be address the 5 to 6 number of the initiative you have to be work upon for an organization, then as a trainer, as well the content for the trainers. These two are the perspective of this program, where it is the dual benefited program. So this program is for the 60 days. 60 days means 2 month program, where in 1 month we will be learn and practice. It is not just the learning, it is a practice based, where you will be design the or practice the every actions which required, which I have been mentioned as in part of the compliance between that, addressing that gap. So here there will be the 5 weeks of intensive learning, practice based learning, where there will be the weekly live session every Sunday, and then every week, every day you have to be learn at least 30 minutes to 1 hour through the LMS. So this is the blended learning system too, which we are designing here. What we are covering exactly, when you are required to become a Posh practitioner who will be address the different types of the organization issue. So there you have to be work upon the 3 level. So where we will be practically work live with you, I will be facilitate with you for the next 60 days based on the 3 level of the activity initiative. So far what we have been covered, let's have the coverage. So it is about the Posh law. It is important for everyone, where it is required to be comply by every organization, and if it's not comply, it will a big difficulty for you. Beyond this, there are the opportunity of the career. So there I have been shared with you the 7 level of the opportunity, where you can be as an external member, as an Posh policy facilitator or the Posh formulator, as an Posh committee formulator or the constitutor, as well as you can also perform a role of the Posh implementator. Then after, it is about your inquiry officer or inquiry specialist, then the Posh training content designer, and the Posh trainer. So these are the 7 level of the opportunities you can scale up into the open market beyond your organization too. Then how you can scale up? So there you need to be learn the advanced skills about the Posh provision, how to be compliant. There it is required, we have divided it into the 3 different levels. So that levels are especially number 1, the pre-implementation, which is one of the difficult part, where the law is required that you need to be evaluate, assess the organization culture, how safe is it really, and what types of the provisions you have. Based on that, you can design a customized framework for the Posh implementation into organization. Then it come to the level 2, where you have been implement it. Then we have discussed about 3 and 4 types of the activity which you are required to be do. Like the 3rd level, it is about the regular compliance, maintaining of the different record and assuring that the reporting. Then furthermore, any case if come, so how you have to initiate the inquiry. So this we have been covered about in the today's session. Then thank you so much for everyone for joining this live session. If you have any question, you can ask.